This thing looks like it will be big. So we decided to have a meeting at Bookbinders on 15th Street, and it was my responsibility to get out all the letters on mailing lists that I had from Henry Grove of Pierce Phelps from those workshops that we were doing. So I got the list, and I remember doing about 30 or 35 of them and putting down ITS, which to me meant Industrial Television Society, but the secretary typed 25 letters, and she put down Instructional Television Society. So I remember that we had to do all the letters again and make it Industrial Television Society. So these letters went out to these people, and we met, and I think it was April of 1969 at Bookbinders. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a pay-as-you-go kind of thing with a cash bar and paying for the meal. And I think we had about 30, 35 people down there, and we really didn't know why we were there. We knew we wanted to start the ITS and do something, but we didn't know what to do about it, short of having a good lobster dinner, I think it was, and a few drinks. And then I gave a little speech, kind of a rah-rah speech, like let's get going and let's get television and media into corporations and into hospitals and other places outside of education. We did set up a planning committee at that meeting, and I frankly don't know who was involved with it at the time. It seems to me somebody from Scott Paper was involved with it and somebody from one of the department stores. And they went on and planned meetings. So from then on, I think after that date, there was a meeting about once a month. And out of this, of course, came the future ITVA, the Philadelphia chapter of the ITVA.
Yeah, there's still a battle between who's the first chapter, Philadelphia or San Francisco. And I know the answer. And sometimes I tell the truth, and sometimes I don't, so I won't tell you on this one. But we claim that we're the first chapter of the organization. There were only 2 chapters at the time in 1969. And later, the San Francisco chapter started to get active with other audiovisual organizations. I can't remember the name of them. I want to say NIDA, but I'm not sure about that. But this group started to form and was always asking Philadelphia, of course, to join in its activities, to try and form this new, larger unit. But we were a wild and woolly bunch, I guess, in Philadelphia, and we had our own ideas about how things should run and what industrial chapter should be. And at one point, we actually seceded from this organization. There was a year when we were on our own, and we always had our own name, DIVITS, Delaware Valley Industrial Television Society, and eventually then we did join back with the ITVA. So the ITVA thinks there were only a chapter since 1975 or 76. I don't know what year they assigned to that. But in point of fact, we have the charter chapter with the organization. And it's an unfortunate point that's lost on ITVA history, but is not lost in my mind and people's minds like Ron Brown who know the background and history of their group.
Philadelphia chapter, and in those days there was something called the International Television Society that the Philadelphia organization became affiliated with. And that was a chapter-based organization. And we paid them money and felt that we got precious little in return. So in July of 1970, the Philadelphia chapter essentially told the national organization that we're not going to send you any more money. We don't want to be a part of your organization. We don't get anything for it. Can't see any benefit for this. Kind of the spirit of 76 was alive and well in Philadelphia in 1970. So we got out and just remained the Delaware Valley Industrial Television Society without any affiliation for about a year and a half. And then the organization came back. John Grant was president at the time, and they were in negotiations with NITA, National Industrial Television Association, to merge the 2 organizations into one. And they felt that they would have a much better bargaining position if they had more chapters in the ITS. So John Grant got together with them and through some negotiation, and we became once again affiliated with the ITS just to help them through this process. Those 2 organizations merged, became the ITVA, and that's how the Philadelphia chapter became a chapter in the ITVA.
The impetus for normally conservative business executives to approve and build in-house production facilities was at first experimental. Over the years, many saw television as more than just fun and games.
Well, I have a pretty cynical view of corporations anyway, having been on the inside of a couple now, and it's, my understanding at the time was they just had a lot of money and there was nothing better to do with it. So, and I don't think that's necessarily bad. I think that's how corporations, a lot of new technology, certainly data processing, the computer industry would not be where it is today were it not for corporations fooling with large multi-acre data centers and giant IBM mainframes and turning it into the priesthood of data processing that it became. And video, to some degree, is the same way. It has that kind of corporation saying, let's fool with video. Let's see if this has an application. Anybody out there doing it? No independents, no consultants? Okay, we'll do it ourselves.
I think the impetus was that corporations, particularly senior management, began to realize